myself there. And just briefly, we will share what's coming up in the community cafes. So we've got Magda today with us, the CEO of ICF, who is trailblazing, well, already trailblazed across the world with ICF having, is it nearly 70,000 members to date?
Well, more like 65, but yeah, we're on our way.
On our way, absolutely. And then a few more of the cafes coming up. We've got live supervision of a board coach on the 6th of October. And we have Claire Pedrick's great Simplifying Coaching. And she just calms things down and takes things slow. Then we've got Ian over in Australasia, who'll be sharing some knowledge and a demonstration on the different approaches that you can use in coaching, including schema coaching. And then we've got Liz Barron on the 17th of November. What's up with supervision? What's it all about? And then I'm doing a group supervision demo in December. Basically, I'll put the link in the chat. I won't say any more. That takes us to December. And the rest of the sessions we've got on the calendar all the way to April. So with us today, Magda, who will be talking about the latest report that PwC formed for ICF, and this has been ongoing for a few years now. And we want to know the state of play in terms of coaching and what's happening, especially in the business world. So Magda, without further ado, we really appreciate your time. Clearly with so many on the call and so many saying, I'm asleep, please will you record it for me? It's a topic people wanted to listen to. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Claire. Thank you for this invitation. And we just chatted a little bit with Claire that actually next week I will be in the region. I will be in Saudi Arabia for the first MENA coaching conference, and I'm very excited. That's going to be my already second visit to Saudi and Dubai and Abu Dhabi this year. So as you can imagine, there is a reason why ICF is more present in the region, and the results of a global coaching study 2025 clearly indicate that it is an area of huge growth and even bigger potential. So, to what Claire said, ICF commissioned PricewaterhouseCoopers for the first time in 2007. Actually, we worked with them already in 2006. And the first global coaching study was released in 2007. Since every couple 3 years we try to repeat this survey just to see how coaching market is changing, how coaching market is evolving, and to some extent to see what trends do we see in coaching, what trends do we see regionally, what trends do we see by gender or generation. These are all very interesting tidbits about, and I think they are helping every professional coach to position themselves in the marketplace. So this most recent study, we changed quite a bit the methodology of those surveys. You may recall, some of you anyway, that when we first started doing those surveys, they would be in the field for 6 months. Then it would take us another 6 months to analyze the data. And then we would release them, and quite frankly, they were already terribly outdated because it was a good year after the data was collected. So several years back, by the advice of PricewaterhouseCoopers, we changed our approach to global surveys. What we do, we have a much shorter field time. So granted, the number of responses is lesser. However, we can interpret the data very quickly and put them in a marketplace very quickly. Short period of time, yeah, this time we collected the data from February through end of March, I want to say, and yet we had over 10,000 responses from 127 countries. It is very important for us to gather information not only from ICF members and ICF credentialed coaches, but really from coaches worldwide. We are happy and lucky that we are working with other coaching organizations, AC and EMCC most notably, and they are kind enough to share the link to the survey with their membership. So about 15% of the responses to our survey this time come from non-ICF members and non-ICF credential coaches. That's very important. And in general, the news is seriously good for coaching and for ICF. An executive summary, as you know, has been already released and it's available to all the members for free. You can download it from our website. And what you can see in that particular um, uh, executive summary is that the overall market for coaching as far as revenue contribution grew by 17% from our last release study in 2023, and it is now standing at 5.34 billion US dollars globally. One has to remember that what we measure in those studies are the voices of coach practitioners. How we define a coach practitioner is somebody who is trained as coach and who spends about 50% of their time actually coaching. We have the responses also from leaders and managers using coaching skills. However, that number does not contribute to the revenue number, if you will. Another very exciting number is that the total estimated number of coach practitioners, again, as we define them, increased 13% from 2023 and now stands at about 123,000 professionals around the globe. As I said, we are always asking people about their how active they are on coaching sphere. So the responses to this survey brought about 110,000 active professionals. And this is where we're going into the conversation about the growth and about the optimism. In general, there is a strong optimism again amongst coaches, with 59% expecting an increase in their annual revenues for the upcoming year. We also asked, by the way, Middle East and Africa is in the forefront of this optimism. So good on you bringing the knowledge, the acceptance, the awareness of coaching to the region. We also ask in this particular survey about the new technologies in coaching. We have so many conversations about technology, especially artificial intelligence, and how it influences and impacts coaching. So the 54% of the respondents said that they use the coaching platforms and technology-driven solutions, and moving forward they are really trying to get more familiar with what's possible and how they can adapt technology to support their own business, to support their clients, and also to grow the effectiveness and efficiency. Some of the organizational coaches, of course, think about scaling and how they can bring AI and AI supported solutions to their clients. So about 40% of coaches actually indicate that they are looking into adapting to technology, but yet they are quite concerned about it, how it's going to go about. And there is a huge, big conversation about the ethics of utilizing technology and AI, especially around confidentiality, transparency, and data use. So again, as I said, that the growth optimism for the revenue is the highest in Middle East and Africa by 71%. Also, the same region leads the coaching client outlook with 72% expecting clients growth. Middle East is second, with 44% responding that they are expecting a growth in annual fees and also increased number of coaching sessions. Middle East again is leading in those conversations. As you can imagine, there are very interesting ideas around the revenues, which is also always interesting, but also tricky because we use purchasing power parity methodology to look into that. But what I think is really interesting is the generational and gender insights into this conversation. So, Middle East is only second largest population of millennial coaches in the world, only giving the first place to Eastern Europe. Gen X represents 55%. And again, Middle East and Africa is one of the lowest countries of baby boomer generation in their mix. We do see also a significantly larger population of, well, significantly, it is a larger than average population of male coaches than female coaches. Globally, 72% of our respondents are female, 28 male. For Middle East and Africa, it's 69 to 31 respectively. And also, we have a very well-educated marketplace in Middle East, 67% of respondents having the tertiary level of education as well. So I don't know the whole study by heart yet because I just received it less than a week ago. So I've been educating myself, but I'll be curious about, are there any specific facets of the survey that you are interested in? Are there any observations that you would like to share with me? And I may or may not be able to share the findings of a survey to either confirm or maybe present a slightly different view of what you may be observing vis-a-vis what we see from the data. Kate? And I can't see everybody, so if you raise your hand by the electronic means, it will pull you to the front of a line. Otherwise, Kate, luckily you are in my screen.
Oh, thank you, Magda. I would love to know what types of coaching were being reported and what were the growth areas by label, so we can understand this business dynamic versus other types. What does the report say now? Where is the growth is really what I'm looking for.
Yes. So we are still seeing the greatest a number of people, percentage of people reporting that they are doing executive and or leadership coaching. And the executive, the global average is 18%, Middle East and Africa 18% exactly, and 36% global for leadership, Middle East and Africa reporting 31%. The region is a little bit higher on live vision and enhancement, with the global average being at 9% and the region being at 13. Otherwise, the region is following just about closely the global averages. When we talk about potential rise of coaching, still the executive and leadership, and especially what we considered sponsored versus paid by the individual. Sponsored seems to be leading the way, and frankly, in the region again, meaning that coaches working with organizations or organizational clients are seeing higher fees, and they are also predicting increase of their ability to engage in those areas.
And Magda, there's two questions in the chat. There's one asking from Cindy, is there information regarding the average cost of coach education?
No, we did not collect this information. And this is an interesting conversation as well, because as you know, pandemic, as awful, of course, and tragic as it was, created a lot of changes in a marketplace for coaching, but also for coaching education. There is an ability and permission to receive your coaching education almost exclusively online, with some proctored and some completely asynchronous learning. That means that any given person has a great opportunity to choose their coaching education as they please. It does not have to be in person. It does not have to be in your region. Although I would say that the cultural nuances are quite important if you want to continue your work in the region. One tidbit that I did not share was that in Middle East, still in-person coaching is a preferred method. In other parts of the world, the move to virtual, such as Zoom, even telephone, even supporting a client via emails and text messaging is greater than it is in a region. So face-to-face seems to be still a preferred way. However, to answer the question about the cost, we have about 3,000 providers, and as you can imagine, the spread of pricing, the length of those programs, again, it depends if you're going for the basic 60 or 120, 125, or even the 250 for MCC may be very different.
And I saw, Magda, that there was a slight difference in terms of what men charge for coaching, males compared to females. Only a
It's
slight
not
difference,
slight,
but
my dear.
brilliant.
It's not slight. It's pretty significant, actually. And we did ask this question. Let me see if I can quickly see.
I was curious about the psychology around that.
With majority of coaches being female, seeing that disparity is I don't know if this is alarming, but definitely unsettling. Well, I don't want to distract me and you from the conversation, but yes, there is a rather significant difference between the fees being charged by female and men and male.
Yeah. I'd love even more research into that. And then Brenda in the chat is asking your views on the platforms Better Up and the others on the industry and coaches' revenue.
This is another very nuanced conversation. We as ICF have no direct influence on what those platforms are choosing to compensate their coaches. We are in conversation with them. We believe that we have to be in conversation with them. You're gonna be surprised. We say you have to pay your coaches more. Having said that, it is a choice of a coach to work with the platform or not to work with the platform. Now, I was just at the conference in Orlando where very, very senior coaches came together, and just almost to a single person, they said that the part of a business they hate with passion is selling, marketing, prospecting. There are some who are very, very established and very lucky. They don't have to. People come to them, right? The phone rings no matter what. But that's not the reality for majority of us. So engaging with the platform allows you to actually outsource that part of a business completely. Several years back, we did a study about how the typical solopreneur coach is using their time. What we found is that the coach coaches about 30% of their time. The rest is running business, including prospecting, selling, marketing. So what we hear from some of our colleagues who are involved in the platforms, they say, I just have to show up and coach. That's all I need to do. And I'm not, saying it lightly, because they said, I don't have to invoice, I don't have to send reminders, I don't have to do scheduling, I don't have to. So they said my annual revenue from coaching is just about the same while I do what I love to do most, coach, vis-a-vis running the business. So having said that, and this is anecdotal, that there is quite a significant turnover at the platforms, which is certainly an issue for them because they constantly have to train new coaches coming, and several of them do phenomenal job onboarding and training their coaches. So yeah, I think that the existence of platforms is here and is here to stay. We do hear from especially organizational purchasers that they like to have this opportunity that somebody is managing the process for them. So I think again, we a big part of the mission of ICF is to make sure that coaching is a good profession. It's a lucrative profession. It's something that can provide livelihood to our coaches. So that conversation is certainly continues to be very important.
Anyone else any questions? Feel free to take yourself off mute.
I see some chat for new coaches from Brenda. For new coaches, it is less of hustle way of getting clients. Yeah, due to platform coaching program, I worry it is impacting the quality of a coaching and as such diluting the power of our credentials. Quite frankly, I am not familiar with absolutely every platform there is, but the leading ones, they are very serious about quality. They are seriously serious about quality. They have very robust ways of capturing a client's experience. They are requiring credentials. ICF credential is not the only credential that they require, but credentials are required. They do periodical trainings after onboarding for their coaches. So I actually have a slightly different view of the quality of coaching they are providing. Again, anecdotal, they would love to have more MCC coaches, but MCC coaches are established enough that they're doing very well, doing their own coaching rather than being part of the program. Claire, you said I got told here recently for board work, if my CV was sent blind, I would have definitely won the work, but a Saudi org wanted a male.
And the price was irrelevant, which was interesting.
Well, for Saudi, I would probably not be super surprised at that. There are some parts of the world where gender does matter. I have to say, being quite present in Middle East and in Saudi in particular, I do see tremendous shift. 3-4 years ago, if I were in a meeting with the high-ranking officials, there could be perhaps a female in a room, but she was probably taking notes. My last trip, which was in March, several governmental agencies and several large corporations I met with, the room was much more balanced, quite not 50-50, but quite more balanced, and female colleagues being responsible for huge initiatives, they reporting, they leading the conversation. So I hope that this is just a way of changing the perception a little bit. It may take us a little time. So I'm showing they're up, and hey, listen, I'm a female, all right, and we're having this conversation about quality. And yet, the preferences, we see it everywhere else. You may have a preference for the gender, you may have a preference for the language, for the country, for the way you were trained. it always gonna be a little bit of a factor, and yet I think that we are changing that perception with high quality female coaches making their strong inroads in different parts of the world. Liz Barron said that on a gender fee issue, business exec coaching usually pays better than live personal coaching. True, that's also very well documented in a study. And business exec coaches is male dominated. That depends on the region again. In Middle East and Africa, yes. In some other parts, in Asia, in some countries as well. Western Europe, North America, even Eastern Europe, not anymore. Not anymore. So again, we're changing a little bit of that perception. Kate asking, could you share average earning for coach globally? Yes. And your, I think, assumption is that new to coaching and established. Very, very significant difference as well. The average, and again, what do they say about statistics, right? Lies, darn lies, and statistics. So the average globally is about $234 per hour. However, it differs greatly by the region, and it differs greatly by the kind of niche of coaching, that being, as we already established, that executive and business coaching typically realizes much better fees. And then what we see is, excuse me, what we see is that the new, I'm gonna pull it up, new to coaching, so 1 to 3 years are definitely making less money. People with experience of 10 years or more, significantly greater. There is a chart in the report that will show you the very, very significant correlation of experience with the earnings and number of clients, and also per hour fee. They do differ. I think Eastern Europe is the lowest region recording and reporting the lowest hourly fee, with North America being the highest, Oceania being right behind it. What information is there I'm reading regarding the gender differences of clients? Yes, we did ask this question, and what is reported is that good 2/3 of clients are female, which is a touch bit of a shift over the years we've been doing these studies. When we first started doing the studies, males were absolutely a dominant gender in coaching clients. And perhaps not surprising if we want to psychoanalyze, because coaching then was accessible, maybe only to C-suite, and we know well that C-suite is still male-dominated group. As we started moving forward, that those two genders started almost balancing each other, with coaching being accessible to high potentials, to first-time managers, to pipelining leadership growth. And now we see more female in the workplace, and we see them being very committed to their growth and to being able to reach those positions and those areas in their professional careers that perhaps they were not thinking about before, or honestly, they were not having as many opportunities as they had before. I don't see any more questions in the chat unless I missed something.
There's one up above, Magda, that I
Yeah.
want to highlight from Heather Ainsworth, asking, does the report have in-depth information specific to the U.S. coaching market? She's considering pursuing coaching certification and building a specific business plan, and is wondering about potential revenue.
Sure. There is, I can answer it in several different ways. So in the report itself, there is no specific section about US or North America. We don't separate Canada and US, so North America. Having said that, just about every indicator that we research does have a specific information about how North America ranks in those questions. Now, what we always do with PwC is that if a country, we're gonna do regional cuts. So just be patient a little bit. We're gonna do regional cuts and we're gonna do the comparison of the regions. More specifically, typically what we do, because what you have in the report is regions being compared to other regions. But what we will do is the view of the region vis-a-vis global data. And then when we have 100 responses or more, we call it the 100 Club, we do specific slide deck for those countries. So US, of course, has been reporting more than 100. So we will have a specific deck for the US, and everybody will be able to reach those data. So again, please be patient. We just finished the report, so it's gonna probably take a month or so before we have those specific country-specific decks.
There was a second part of that question asking if there was a look at data for individual versus cohort clients.
We did not do that. It may be a great insight into our next study. We did record the number of coaches or percentage of coaches that do team coaching, and that's a growing number, as you can imagine. It's about 8%, I think, reporting doing team coaching. So it is a growing number, and before we know it, it's probably going to be absolutely appropriate to have a different set of data and questions for those.
Is there any information or separate cut or other research ICF has done around, this is also from Heather, a follow-up question specific to the organizational coaching market?
It's different, and yes, we have a division of ICF, which is the coaching in organizations, or otherwise known as CIO. We do studies with Human Capital Institute on the state of organizational coaching. Those reports are available on our website. So yes, this is specific to organization coaching market. And I see Kate.
Sorry for another question. Magda, was the timing of the report any influence into the change of the competencies in the last couple of weeks? Did it have any influence to why some of the wording changed? I just want to know if there's any overlap.
Right. It has not been because this study, this particular one, is capturing the state of coaching market. Okay. Job analysis, which is the basis for the update to core coaching competencies, is about 2-year process. It's fun. It's great fun. And this is asking coaches what they do when they coach in their coaching practice rather than collecting information about their business side of coaching. We are always interested in if we see, for example, we asked the question about team coaching, so we are curious to see if there is a correlation between the two, if more people reported team coaching and if they see any necessity for maybe an upgrade to team coaching competencies. We have not seen that, quite frankly. And for everybody, the new competencies as they're being rolled out, there is not really a huge change. It's more cosmetic this time. As you know, we do this job analysis again every 3 to 5 years. That's a requirement of being a credible credentialing organization. And every so often, there is remember last time we changed 11 to 8, and there was quite a difference. This time they are more cosmetic, I would say, than substantial changes.
Okay.
Do we have information on the current number of ACCs versus? Absolutely. I will pull it up. Basically, we have about 5% of ICF. About 5% of a total number of credential holders are the PCCs, and ACCs and PCs, excuse me, are MCCs 8%, 5%, and then the ACCs and PCCs are becoming very close. So still the leading number of percentage of credential holders are ACCs with 49% and PCCs 45%. So what it means is that we still have a beautiful influx of new credential holders to the system, and many of them move from ACC to PCC. We also have, as you may know, last year, 2 years ago, ICF introduced the competencies for team coaching. Last year, we started offering the advanced certificate in team coaching, and about 1% of our total body of credential holders, which is nearing 60,000, if we might have crossed it already. So about 1% are also holding the advanced certificate in team coaching. Maria, are ICF tracking the number of coaches who are in supervision? Is there going to be a requirement for ICF credentialed to be in supervision soon? We do not track those numbers. We are not requiring supervision. Having said that, we are strongly recommending supervision. And for the requirement of coach mentoring, we are also allowing supervision to take its place. And also for the renewal of credentials, participating in supervision or offering supervision are allowable practices to count against the hours. Another question, how can the International Coaching Federation further develop its code of ethics to remain rooted in universal principles while also respecting the diversity of values, beliefs, and cultures across global contexts, ensuring it is not framed from a single polarized perspective, but through genuine and inclusive participation of all voices? Very good question. And again, we review our code of ethics every 3 years. And that's a mandate of the ICF. Every time we do this review, the group that does it is remarkably globally represented. And it's a large group, which, as you can imagine, nothing goes quickly when you have a large group of people. And they do represent diverse point of views. We look into gender, age, credential, culture, type of coaching people do, experience. We check diversity. We check every box to be able to have that diverse voice. Now, when you are a global organization, you may know that ICF have members in 160 countries. It's impossible to reflect absolutely everything that's important in any given locality. Therefore, we leave quite an opportunity for our local chapters, members residing in different areas, to add that flavor of their own culture, history, whatever it might be, into that conversation. Code is like a core, and the periphery of it. So this is non-negotiable. Code of ethics is non-negotiable, while certain applications of coaching and how it's done, and again, what philosophy, what cultural nuances may be necessary and very useful, they are absolutely allowable. I see question from Maria. Is there going to be ICF accredited ADHD or neurodivergent specific coaching? or are the ones that ICF prefer. We do have several coaching education providers that specialize in neuro and in ADHD. So I don't know if it raises yet to the level of special credential, but we certainly are very involved in that conversation, especially through our DIB activities, where we are having a member resource group that specifically looks into neurodiversity in coaching, and not only in coaching meaning clients, but also in coaching meaning coaches. Is there data from Cindy? Is there data regarding distribution of ICF members regarding these components of values, beliefs, religious affiliations? No, and we can't collect this information. Unfortunately, there are laws and regulations that do not allow us to collect this information. We would love to. We have anecdotal information, but unfortunately, as much as we would love to, we cannot collect this information.
Up ahead, there was a question from Kate Magda asking if we could share specific average earnings for coaches globally, both ones that are new and established.
Yeah, oops, wrong file. Let me pull it up real quick, because we do have this information. This is always the most intriguing and the most sought after part of the report. So give me just a second.
Spoke to it high level earlier. But
yes, but I wanna give you the specifics. Okay, another tidbit, majority of coaches are external coach practitioners. Some do both. Here we go. Revenue. Okay. So the global number, the average is $234 per hour. And then there is a specific table that looks into specific regions. The highest is North America with the average of 297. The lowest is Eastern Europe with the average of 139. Nope, Latin America and Caribbean, 129. For Middle East and Africa, the average is 175. So this is as far as region is concerned.
Do you have the annual figure, Magda? Because I remember in 23, the report, it said something like $30,000 per annum. I wonder if you
There
need that.
is.
Thank you.
There is, yes. So the total, wait. I know it, there is. This is, here we go. Annual revenue is the highest in Western Europe. No, I'm pretty sure it's the US. Okay, yeah. So in North America, the average income from coaching alone, we have to remember that, is $71,700 US per year. The Oceania is the second highest with 55,000. Western Europe, 45,000. Eastern Europe is the lowest with 21,000 annual earning from coaching alone. By the way, not much change or not much difference from the 2023 report. On average, a coach typically offers two and change to 3 other services. mostly facilitation, training, and consulting.
Is there a breakdown on new and experienced for income?
Yes, there is. There is. As I said, I don't know it by heart yet.
No, sure. Thank you for sharing.
No worries, no worries. And optimism, number of clients. Demographics. So the experience, we know that the older the coach, the more experienced they typically are, not a surprise. We talk about that. So we also know that those with less experience typically coach more in non-business related areas. And again, we know that this is the area bringing a lesser revenue. I'm sorry, if you send me an email, I'll be happy to send you the specific information, because yes, we do know that that there is a fairly significant difference between the new to coaching versus experienced. If I see that graph, I think I told you that there is a chart which very, very closely shows you the up swing depending on the age of the years of experience and the fees being realized. Okay, I just see it. So with coaches having less than 1 year of experience, their annual revenue is about $15,000. Those with 10 years or more jumps on average to about $60,000. And it goes by, 1 to 2 years, 3 to 4 years, 5 to 2 years, and more than 10. So the highlight is that with growing experience, coaches see significant increase in average annual revenue from coaching and hourly fees. What we also see from the report is that coaches with credential are realizing about 18% higher fees than those without the credential.
Thank you.
And Cindy, you're asking about hourly. So the 1 year or less, the average hourly fee is 170, and 10 years or more, 282.
From where you sit, Magda, what do you see as the future of coaching based on the survey results? Do you see any trends or places where ICF wants to shape the industry or respond to what you're seeing?
Yes. All in all, the future of coaching is bright. Look, I've been with ICF for, it's almost shameful to admit, 20 years. 20 years. And over those 20 years, I've been looking for the signs of slowdown. We don't see a slowdown, not in any area of the globe. We still continue growing in all parts, established market and a little less mature markets. The less mature markets are maturing very quickly. I think that they have a great opportunity to learn from those pioneers in the coaching market, and that the pace is faster. So I was just talking the other day with a colleague who is annoyed when anybody tells him that there is oversaturation of coaching market. He said, "Are you serious?" He says, "How many counselors or psychologists or psychiatrists are there in the world? What is the ratio of the counselor to general population? And what is the ratio of coaches to general population? We have a humongous gap to still close. So I think that we really have a bright future with greater acceptance and understanding of coaching, because you know, still in some areas of the world we have to explain anymore not what coaching is, but how it differs from mentoring. That seems to be a biggest maybe collapse of the two in people's minds. Two huge initiatives that we are not engaging, we're engaged already, is technology and AI in coaching. You know, you start hearing that statement, AI coaching will not replace a human coach. However, it will replace a human coach who's not adopting AI. Okay. So we're working on creating tools, ways of people to understand AI better, have even a list of maybe not, you know, endorsed, but vetted AI technologies that people may choose to engage or to test. There is whole conversation, of course, about platforms. We already touched upon it. And it is a conversation about our own standards, because if, say, AI supported coach can deliver the basic level coaching, what does it mean for us to train coaches? Marsha Reynolds, Dr. Marsha Reynolds, many of you may know Marsha. She has a very beautiful phrase saying that AI coaching is transactional, while human coaching is transformational. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And for many, transactional is all they need when they first engage in coaching. What we do know, it's anecdotal, but there are some research being done at the university levels that people who engaged in AI coaching are better prepared to then work with a human coach when they understand that transactional versus transformational. The other area that we're very, very heavily involved is how coaching can support mental well-being without crossing the line of course, medical psychology, psychiatry, counseling. How can coaches better recognize when the client has some kind of an issue, and where to refer? We say in our code of ethics, refer, but people don't know where to refer to. So we're working with several other associations and organizations that we can have a cross pollination of where to refer people to. Our colleagues in coaching and our colleagues in counseling and psychology will tell us that coaching can be fantastically supportive of people never dropping to the level they need medical assistance, or when they come out, if you will, of the need of medical assistance to sustain their well-being at this level. Very big societally, I think, very important conversation. The other one that I'm very excited about is to bring coaching to educational system and to introduce younger people to coaching, and also see how young people can be supported by coaching to grow their leadership skills for the future. I'm watching the time and I see Benita's
We
hand.
are, yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, I'd just like to say that in a future report, I'd really like to see the revenue from AI coaching, not
Yes.
AI tools, not tools that support coaching, but actual AI coaching
Yes.
compared to human coaching. I think that would be fascinating.
I think there will be, there was not enough of a sample. We tried, we just poked a little bit, not enough sample, because as you probably won't be terribly surprised, there is a growing number of organizations that use AI coaching, but they're still saying we're experimenting, we're not reporting on it. So, so that's something I'm absolutely certain that for the next report, it's gonna be on the forefront of this conversation. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In your earlier insights you shared, Magda, you mentioned resources for coaches to use to navigate AI in their practices. Is there a timeline for when that might be shared, or is that already out there and I've
It's
missed it?
already out there. We created a series of webinars led by our director of AI. We're very proud to have a director of AI. Her name is Susan Caesar, and the first webinar was already released, and the recording of it is available online, and we have 2 more scheduled.
Oh, wonderful. Is that in the learning portal for our
You know, if you go
listeners
to
to find it?
AI and technology on our website, the link will
That
take
would
you
be the place to find
there.
it.
And we also have an internal and external coalitions on AI coaching. The external involves other coaching organizations and also our colleagues and friends who are developing those technologies, because they are often brilliant technologists, and they may still not understand coaching to the level we would love for them to understand coaching.
Terrific. Thank you. That's wonderful support as coaches look to bridge to the future.
Yeah. Hoi-jak. Must be
Magdalena,
muted.
as
Oh, here you
everyone.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
As we discussion about AI right now, and I saw that we also have the AI coaching standard.
Yes.
Now ICF have any updates for that, or only use that once?
This one was developed only a year ago, so it's still a fairly fresh standard. So this coalition that I just mentioned, I am pretty sure that they're gonna be pushing for the review of the standard being much more frequent than review of other standards such as core competencies or even code of ethics, because the marketplace, you know, you blink and something new is already happening. But for now, that's the most recent one we have.
Yes, that's really great. And I see that nowadays there are many organizations that develop the AI the platform for coaching. Do ICF have any ethics or the condition for them or align with any ICF?
Yeah, this is actually in the works. This is one of the initiatives that this coalition is working on. We actually have a phenomenal, well, nudge, I will say push, and support for doing that from our colleagues in Europe, where the concerns are grave. As you may know, Europe probably has the most stringent regulatory climate, so that push for the ethics in utilizing AI coaching is very strong. So we are working on it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And on our call today, we have MJ, who I believe is part of the Coach Me Beckett McEnroy community, who's on part of that AI task force. So thank you for your work.
Oh,
and we look
Suresh,
forward-
thank you so much for putting the post. Thank you.
Oh, there it is. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. And as we come to the top of the hour, I just want to thank you so much, Magda, for your time and your insights and your sharing the latest news that so profoundly impacts all of us in our professions. And the ICF is, we're part of the larger global organization, reshapes our future. So we appreciate you very much. Look forward to seeing you and hopefully many others on the call at Converge in just a few weeks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. And sure, you know where to find me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you
Bye.
everyone for
Thank
coming
you.
and your
Thank
wonderful
you.
questions. Take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.